Hello, you guys. I have been putting this off for a hot minute. And it was because I didn't want to waste things and I didn't want to whatever. Which, oh, I forgot that has a thing at the bottom. I'm like, this is a good amount of mixture. I'm okay with this. I might want to adjust it slightly in the future, but my biggest issue was like how to convert all of these things. So first off, let me start with, my name is Genesis and this is Sozo Education and Beauty Supply. So I'm gonna kind of get things started and then talk to you about where I am at in this whole journey. So I'm tearing off my scale. I'm going to put 124-ish grams of mixture in each one of these because if I did my math correctly, that is how much everything will divide out to. So the maker of these Embeds molds said that each one can hold approximately 3 cups of mixture. So I have an Embed mixture that I used. I'm gonna set this off to the side for a second. And because of how I calculate everything, I had a ratio mix that was close to what would supposedly be 3 cups. So I decided, you know, hey, if everything didn't come out, it didn't matter. I need to get the experience with this mixture and just roll with it. So that is what we are doing. And I'm going to put it on here just in case I need to adjust some of them. But cool. I am totally down with how this is working out. So I'm using the same exact Embed mixture that I have used in previous videos. Let me see how I can get all of this arranged. That I had gotten from Nelson Soapry. And literally everything is in all of these bowls except for your binder and the dye. Typically, I would take the dye and mix it in with the water, using the warm water to get it to bloom and all of that stuff. But I'm not going to do this. I'm going to do this how she did it. So I have 3 different colors here. This is from Nurture Soap, their green dye. Okay, so I used 1/4 of a teaspoon in here. And then I'm going to use, I guess it would be 1/8 of a teaspoon in there. And then 1/8 of a teaspoon of turquoise dye mixture in there. And then I'm going to use 1/4 teaspoon in here. And then I'm going to use 1/8 of a teaspoon in here. And then 1/8 of a teaspoon in here. And a full 1/4 of a teaspoon. This is the blue dye, number 1. So I'm going to set these off to the side so I don't knock them all over. However, if I decide that I need to change something because my plan did not go as planned, I can. Now, from here, She literally like doop, 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 like puts the water in each one of them, mixes it up, like hurries it up or whatever, gets them all mixed, and then starts adding them into this layer. So I want to try to keep them in order as much as possible. And once I start this whole process with adding in the water, it's going to go pretty quick. So I am just really hoping that all of this works out, because when you're working with unbloomed dyes, you really can't tell. But honestly, like, this is just a super cool, because I don't have time to bloom all the things and do all of that, right? So, for all intensive purposes, this would be a super quick way to be able to do all of these things. And then really the embed situation doesn't really matter, because once it actually hits the water in the tub, that is going to be your true test. And I want to say she really doesn't do this either. She also uses like a hand stand mixer thingy, a hand mixer. And I'm like, meh. So we're going to use water as our binder. And I'm going to try to keep these in order, like I said, as much as I can, and go as quickly as possible. So I just did like 2 full sprays in there, and I might just go to using my hands. I don't know. I think that's going to be the best. Definitely feel like this would be too moist with the 2 sprays. So I'm going to swap that out and just do 1 spray. And I'm assuming that she would use the straight water simply because of the fact that it's going to help all of these stick together better. So we'll see. I am at 24% humidity today. Wow, that's awesome. Okay, so I do believe I like the 1 spray. So we're going to go with that. 1 full spray down. I'm like, I am loving this whole situation. Oops. So I had gotten a request for bath bombs from a friend of mine, that she said that she wanted them to be blue or green. And I'm like, well, we really don't do the blue or green, or is not really in my particular vocabulary. So I decided that this was the perfect time to be able to like hurry up and get my stuff together and figure this whole thing out. So this is what we're gonna do. And so far, I think these are gonna be super, super pretty. And, you know, maybe not such a hot mess. I think if I had taller bowls, I would probably use the mixer, because it would be easier. You wouldn't get your hands all in this whole entire thing, but I don't have tall bowls. I'm gonna do with what I have. Ugh. Okay, whenever I work with all these, this like definitely makes me nervous. Okay, so I'm gonna line these up kind of like off to the side, trying to keep in my whole order. And the way this one works, she did put a liner in here. I'm not gonna do that because, yeah, and hope we don't fail. So I'm gonna put this whole entire mixture. Like I said, like this one definitely seems like it is possibly too wet with the 2 sprays, but we're gonna do it. So that's the first one. We're gonna divide out this mix as much as we can, and I hope this is gonna mold well. Okay, so then we push this down, trying to push it down as evenly as you can. Looks pretty spectacular. Definitely loving the 1 spray. Distribute out as much as possible. Evenly press down. Oh my gosh, you guys. But, okay, now we're just gonna pray. Is this, I guess it does. Doesn't really matter, honestly, but it does to me in my head because it does. You never really know like how this whole thing is gonna do until it all comes out. So, okay, 3 done. This is the mixture of like the turquoise and the blue. I didn't really think about it until just in the moment of thinking the things. It should have gone like the other way. Because even though I was combining, you would still do the light to dark. Whatever. Like I said, it doesn't matter. You know why it doesn't matter? Because they're all blues and greens. And it's going to be great either way. So, this is how we do. And so far, I'm like absolutely loving this. So, way to go me for right now. And then we pray extra hardcore. So if you can see, like there's only maybe about a 1/4 inch left off the top part of this mold. So that's great. Before I do anything else, I am going to kind of clean up this whole rest of, because you know I know that it's gonna get messy, but I cannot. So give me un momento, por favor. Okay. There's that. And I figured I would have these out because, yeah, I think, okay, we're just gonna like, do we need a tacky? Oh, I don't remember. Maybe we just push it. Okay, we're doing things. Okay, so this has, oh, it's because, oh, this is so, maybe. Okay, you guys, definitely glad that I went with my first instinct on this. Okay, so I'm going to show you this from the side. And that first color is totally doing all of the things. It's activating like a mug. So I'm just gonna like scrape this off here. Let me use the back of my knife, and we're gonna act like that first one didn't happen, because it looks like the rest of them are gonna be amazing. So I'm using the back part of my knife to scrape all of that off. Okay. Maybe I can turn this, I'll like keep crumbling it and we'll just turn it into other green things. All right, so from here, this all feels really good. So what she did was line up one of your edges, and then you push this down into the mixture, and it gives you the lines of which you should cut on. So, oh, we like it. I'm doing it. This is the scariest part, because the people that I have watched do this, it like ends up crumbling all apart and doing very mean and angry things. So, oh, this is like bomb, diggity bomb, diggity. All right, I'm gonna set all that aside. And then, I don't know if this is gonna line up completely as good, but we're gonna try. And mind you, like, she does have a whole video in her things. Oh yeah, we push them together, and then you line up one edge with the edge, and then use this as a cutter, or use this as a marking tool again to then go back and cut, which I'll show you from this side of it. I guess the width, yeah, because they were definitely lined up that way. So, well, yeah, the width of it, it would end right there. So that's how it cuts them all in perfect strips, because that alignment is there. So you're just missing one. So even if I hadn't have screwed up the whole top thing, this is where we're at. And she did say to keep your blade clean. So I'm going to grab a paper towel just to be able to listen to instructions. And then I'm going to pull out 2 more of these. I am so glad that I decided to do this. Oops, I forgot. The middle one doesn't need to be done. But anyway, how perfect are these? Perfect. So I am going to put these into a rainbow mold, or not rainbow, what is it called? Cloud. I am going to use a cloud mold. And kind of be traditional in the sense, because everybody does like rainbow embeds in them and whatever, but so I guess it's not totally completely traditional. but traditional in the sense of doing faded colors and not crazy things. Okay, one more. I am so glad that I came into this like industry, I guess, at this point in time, because I don't even know like what to tell you. So I saw some people from the very first, and it was actually the Nelson soapry where I got the embed recipe from. She did it in like a soap mold. So it was the same, you know, box thing like this, but then to press everything down, like all the different videos that I've seen, they were using all kind of like random things and everything. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it would be so much easier and even, because I'm anal retentive, to just be able to push something down perfectly. So I had not been buying any molds like this from anybody because of the fact that I was so like, I didn't want to spend money on something that I would then have to go back and do something different. So the fact that like she did this whole thing, and I also would say I don't think it would have stuck had I have not added like the too much water in there or whatever, but she did put the wax paper there, just so we're clear on that. I mean, like the way that this was designed is just really ingenious, and you could make so many of these so fast. And like I'm gonna make my little cloud guys, and then I'm gonna put these in here right away. So I don't have to necessarily make these all ahead of time and then have them dry and do whatever. That you can use them right away. And like somebody had showed a thing where they were like bending them and everything. I'm gonna leave that alone. Let's not push my luck too much. That they were bending them and putting them into the curvatures of like types of molds. Well, you can't do that after they're already dry. So that's a cool thing too. With, you know, a different way that you can be able to utilize these. So once I get done with whatever I'm going to make tonight, then I am going to come back and dry all of these ones, and then I will put them into containers like as these ones as such. But again, with the to go back to like the colors that I used, with this one being the one green, and then I had mixed the other one over here together and then mixed this one here, like I should have layered these a little bit differently. So the turquoise would have been here and that one would have been there. But either way, it's not going to matter because they're all blues and greens combos. So I hope this helped. If you have any questions, please let me know. I will put the link to Nelson Soapry where I had gotten this recipe from. And hopefully these will withstand the test of time. Only time will tell. If you want to continue following me on my journey in all of these homemade things, please like and subscribe and let me know how I can help you with your journey. Bye.